Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Georgia and I came to Poland in 2015. I've been living in three cities, Warsaw, Łódź and Wrocław. And I came here to work because after graduating from university in 2014, I couldn't find a job in Italy. And therefore, like many other Italians, I moved to Poland. The first city where I lived is Łódź, which is the third biggest city in Poland. I really liked living in Łódź, and I lived in the city center as well as in the outskirts of the cities, and I met many wonderful people. Then I moved to Wrocław, where I lived for 6 months, and finally I moved to Warsaw, where I lived for 6 years. Living in Poland has been very nice, although it had also its downsides. For example, the weather is cold, and when I first came to Poland in May, it was snowing. So I had a strong impact with the weather, and I struggled initially to adapt to the weather. But right now, after 8 years, I'm fully adapted to the weather and I really enjoy the snow and the snowy winter. Living in Poland has been easy and also difficult. For example, from the point of view of work, I have had many wonderful colleagues and team leaders. But also, in one occasion, I had a team leader who was stalking me and was making my life really difficult. So I had a very hard time working there, and eventually I left. But apart from that experience, the other experiences have been good, and I really enjoyed working here in Poland. Salaries have increased from 2015, and now it is possible for a single person to rent an apartment and to live decently, in a good way, with what she earns. You can find good salaries here in Poland. Warsaw is very fast-paced, much more fast-paced than Łódź, and therefore you have to be really competitive if you want to live in Warsaw. Also, it may take up to an hour to commute to work, so it's a very busy city. However, Poland is very green, and in Warsaw there are lots of parks, such as the Łazienki Park, which are really beautiful, and I enjoy walking there with my friends and with my partner, and we had a really good time. I really enjoyed Warsaw, the Zloty Terrasse, which is the commercial center where you can find lots of shops. And moving around the city is pretty easy because you have very good communication. When I was in Warsaw, I lived in Prague, well, outside Prague, in Brudno, which is close to Prague, and I really enjoyed the atmosphere, the old cafes, and the people. In fact, in Warsaw, you can find many good cafes and restaurants, from Mexican to vegetarian to vegan to Syrian cuisine, and it's a very multicultural city. In fact, I have met people from Spain, from Italy, from Syria, from Afghanistan, from Cuba, from Latin America, and I've met really good friends. I used to attend language tandem exchanges where you can meet people who live in Warsaw who are foreigners, and it's good because you can share with them your experience as a foreigner in Warsaw and communicate with them in English and therefore practice your English. The highlight of working in a company is the big parties which usually occur twice a year. And in Warsaw, for example, when I was working for one company, we had a party at what is called the beach, which is a very sandy place near the Vistula River, and it was a really good and fun party where you had a lot to eat and nice music and very much fun. Also in Łódź, you have many parks. And for example, I used to live in Bauti, now I live in the city center. And I took a lot of walks in these parks, and I really enjoyed spending my time there. The city center of Łódź comprises Pietrokoska, which is the main street where you have lots of restaurants and cafes. In Wrocław, instead, you have the Market Square, the Rinek, and there you also have nice cafes and market during December. If you want to move towards to Poland, I would recommend moving perhaps at first to Łódź or to a smaller city. But some people move directly to Warsaw because they enjoy the chaotic city, the capital of Poland. But for other people, it may be easier to live in a smaller city like Łódź or Wrocław, where you can find lots of work anyhow, but you can start settling down and making friends, and then you can move to Warsaw when you perhaps have a partner, a girlfriend or a boyfriend or some friends. At first, when I saw Warsaw, I was scared because I come from a very well-known city in Italy, but it's small, and I've never lived in a capital city. But after 6 years, I really enjoyed Warsaw. It was a great experience there, and I met many nice people. There are lots of jobs here in Poland, and you can find a lot of foreigners working in companies. And it's really good because it's good to share your experience with other people who come from abroad. Polish people are very nice, although sometimes you might have negative experiences, but that can happen everywhere. They're very helpful and they go out of their way to help you. For example, when they are on the street and you don't know your way, they go out of their way to help you. Many people speak English, although it is advisable that you learn Polish at least a bit because not everyone speaks English, especially when you go to offices. It's easier if you speak the local language. However, you can use Google Translate if you don't really know your way around. I've also studied here in Poland at one of the major universities, and I have had a positive experience. Once, when I was living in Warsaw, I had some flatmates who were not nice to me and were stalking me and sending me bad messages. But I endured 3 years anyway because the flat was really nice and I found myself comfortable. I had my own room and I was just putting up with these people. Anyway, I hope that your experience in Poland can be as good as mine and that you enjoy living here because it's a very inexpensive city with very nice cafes and cafeterias and lots of places to hang out and to make new friends. And I hope this video can help you if you decide to move to Poland. Bye!